Hey everyone, it's Kelly and we're going to do a reformer workout today using the long box, and you will also need a medium size or small ball as an optional prop. I'd like your long box in position, your foot bar on a medium height so that we can rest our head on there as we start with some abdominal work. I also have all springs on for right now. We'll be changing that in the future. Headrest is down so your feet can go on there. Have a seat on the box. Scoot far enough forward that you can lie all the way down. And again, our head will rest on the foot bar if that's an option for you. If it's not, then just scoot far enough forward so that your head can rest on the box. Place the ball in between your knees. Hands hold the edge of the box as you slowly curl down, bone by bone. Get in a good position where the back of your skull can rest on the bar. I don't want your neck on the bar. And then take a couple big deep breaths here. Inhaling, the knees apart slightly. Exhaling, squeeze the ball. Inhaling. Release the ball slightly, exhale to squeeze. Just warming up those low abs and pelvic floor muscles. Make sure those back bottom ribs are pressed down towards the mat. Last one. And then keep the ball squeezed in between your knees, and you're going to engage those abdominal muscles, press the back bottom ribs down, and float the legs up into a chair position. And then adjust yourself as needed, and feet together, knees are squeezing that ball. So we're gonna do some little reverse crunches here. You're gonna curl the buns up and down. Again, trying to get into those low abs. Try not to put a lot of pressure in your head against the foot bar or the box, depending on where you're lying. One more. And down. Now arms come up, and we're going to do some head roll-ups. Inhale first. Exhale, squeeze the ball, lift the head and chest, and return. Head lands softly on the bar. One more. And down. Now, place the ball in front of your right thigh. Bend that knee deep enough to be able to bring it towards your arm so that your arm and leg press in. Now, I don't want you just to think about the arm and leg pressing in. I really want you to think about engaging this right oblique muscle or the right side of your waist. Bring it down to draw the knee and the arm together against the ball. And then your left leg is going to extend and bend. My left hand is reaching far down the box and gently pressing in to the box. If you don't have enough room on top of the box for that, your left arm can be floating in the air, kind of like we do with our hundreds arms. Keep those back bottom ribs pressed. Press your knee and arm together into the ball. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to bend. Keep it straight on this one. Lift it up, lower down. Inhaling in one direction, exhaling in the other. Making sure your abdominal muscles are pressed towards the floor to protect your back from arching. And bend it in, and we'll do the other side. So ball goes in front of the left thigh or knee, arm against it, Right hand can be on the box, pressing in to help you engage those shoulders, and then keep your belly and everything, bottom ribs pressed down. Press into that ball with your arm and leg, but more so with your abs. We're going to keep it straight and lift and lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't forget to press into the ball. 7 and 8. Bend the knee and then put the ball in between your knees for a moment and just gently rock side to side. Good. Now, we're going to keep the ball in between the knees. The feet are apart in a chair position. Hands are reaching by your side, and you're going to curl up and kick out and lower bend in. Reach. Return. Inhale and exhale. 4, 5, 6, 7. Last one, stay here. If you need to, you can bring your hands or one hand behind your head to support your neck, and you're going to lift and lower. Point up, flex down, up, down. One more, up and down. Reverse your feet. Flex up, point down. 2, 3, and 4, and down and in, and rest. Rock those knees side to side. My abs are getting warmed up. Now you're going to bring your knees together. The ball goes on the outside of the right leg, right hand on the ball. Left hand can be behind your head. I can't do that right now because of my shoulder, so I'm just going to reach my left arm by my side. You're going to curl up and side bend to the right, reaching the ball down your leg, and then return. And reach and return. Your head does not have to land every time. That's just what works for me. And down. Now 8 on the other side. This time I will place my hand behind my head and crunch up, and I'll stay up as I bend and release. Side bend to the left and back to center. One more, and back and rest. And then you're going to place your feet down, give yourself a little break, and your abs a little stretch. Now keep your right foot down, lengthen your left leg up, right hand on your ball, which is on your left shin or knee, depending on how long your arms are. And we're going to crunch up to the left, dragging that ball up the leg. So it's reach, 2. The other hand is just reaching along my hip. Last one, and down. And then switch. That foot comes down, up goes the right leg. So left hand along the ball, against the ball, which is against my right leg. And crunch up towards the right. 1. Exhale, 2. And last one, and down. And then you're just going to place the ball behind your leg that's up and crunch all or rock all the way up. And then we're going to come off and place the ball or remove it, move it away. I'm putting it in, I keep it in a box at the underneath my reformer. So we're keeping this bar and long box, but we're going to change the spring to one red and one blue spring. Now you may be able to be heavier or lighter or need lighter weight than this. Just kind of play with it and see what works for you. You're going to come up onto the box. Your right knee is sort of in the back center of the box and right toes are against the foot bar. Left foot is on the mat outside the box. Make sure it's on the carriage, not the frame, because we will be moving the carriage in just a moment. So you're going to have your hands holding the top edge, and then you're going to pick your kneecap up and carefully watch your balance, lengthen, squeezing your glute, and release. Press and return. Inhale and exhale. Your back is straight and flat, neck is long, abs drawn in. Take the time to squeeze that glute and thigh as you hesitate out here. One more. When you come in, softly put your knee down. Now rest the top of your foot or ankle on the bar and come to an upright position. You do want to make sure your foot feels stable on the carriage, on the platform here. Even though you will not be moving the carriage, you want it to feel like it has a good platform for the foot. So if you need to, you can always move your box over a little bit. Hands can be in prayer position in front of you. Press into the foot that's on the foot bar as well as the foot that's on the mat and rise up. Watch your balance and softly put the knee down. Inhale and exhale. So my box shifted a little bit and that's just what I needed, but just be careful about that. And 3, 4, 5, 6. This front quad is what's working. 7. Well, there's a lot working, but that's the main thing. And last one. And down. Good. All right, so now I am going to change the spring tension for my shoulder issue. So I'm going to go to one red spring. You may be able to stay on the one red and one blue. Bring it back up. Grab your handles. Your foot this time is not attached to the foot bar in any way, but your knee is on the box and your other foot is on the side, on the carriage. Cross those ropes, put them in the opposite hands, and then stand tall. Make sure your butt's not sticking out. You're going to drop that tailbone, open up the front of the hip here, belly drawn in. Now, you could do a high row. I can't do that because of my shoulder situation. So I'm going to do a low row. And again, I'm keeping this light for myself. I could hold on to the shorter loop or higher up closer to the rope. And again, I could do a really high row if my shoulders would let me, but right now, that's not an option for me. So you do what feels best to you. One more time, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And then, keeping the handle in your left hand, hang up the one that's in your right hand. So we're cross-loaded. My left hand is holding the right strap. And then we're going to pull and turn the palm up. And again, you can make the spring tension heavier. You could hold on higher on the rope. This is the frozen shoulder side that I'm dealing with, so I'm just keeping this light, just trying to get some motion and a little bit of strength here. A little bit improved range of motion. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to add a rotation. So this time I'm going to do palm down or palm faces in. It's going to depend on what feels better to my shoulder. I'm going to start with palm down and see how I do. And I'm going to twist to the left as I pull. Now you've got to be real careful of your balance on this. Twist. So I'm twisting from my belly button. So my spine is rotating as the arm is pulling back. Not, unfortunately, very far, but as far as I can manage. One more. And return. Good. Then you're going to hang that up, and we're going to come onto the box for some planking type of stuff. So I'm staying on this one red. It may work better for your body to be on heavier weight. It's just not going to work for me for right now. So what I do is I back my knees up and I place my toes on the bar. Now if that feels too scary to you when we get going, you can always move your foot bar down away from the box into a lower position and put your feet on the wooden platform so that you're more on an incline rather than flat and level with the box, which it can be a little bit scary. So just be careful. I'm on my toes in Pilates V, heels connected. My hands are 3/4 of the way up on the box, holding on to the sides. You could also be flat here. You just don't want to be on the tippy edge, because when you move away and you pick your kneecaps up off the box, you don't want the box to tilt. So hands come back, and then shoulders down and away from your ears. We're just going to start by picking up the knees several times. So I lift up and down, and again, up and down. We're going to do a few more. Now you might stay with this. This may be hard enough. Last one, I'm going to keep my knees up. I'm going to push out and in. Make sure you have good footing. Now my hips are way higher than I would like them. But again, I just do what I can right now because this shoulder doesn't support me very well. Last one, bring it in, and then softly put it down. That is so much work for my left shoulder area. So it's just crazy how weak I've become on that side. All right, I'm going to stay on this weight, and we'll do the arm work on the other side. And then I'll add some spring tension for the other stuff that we did. So now, left knee is on the box. No, my foot is not against anything. My right foot is on the carriage. I'm moving the box over just a titch because it slid before. And then cross these ropes. Upright. Pelvis sort of tucked under, tail dropped down. Hips are forward and open. And I'm doing a low row because I can't go too high, but if you can go really high like this, I'm demonstrating with my right arm, then do it. Get those upper traps to work. Couple more. Last one. And reach. We're going to hang up the strap that's in the left hand, hold the strap that's on the left in the right hand, and straighten up again. And we're going to pull and turn the palm up, and then turn the palm inward when you straighten. Rotate it around. Squeeze that posterior deltoid area in the back of the arm where it attaches to the body. One more time. And reach, we're going to add a twist. So either palm in or down, pull back as high as feels safe to you, and rotate to the right. Left hand can be on your hip. My arm is just hanging. I'm turning from my belly button to the right. Let's do one more. And release. And then we're going to hang this up. I'm going to come off the box and add that blue spring back on. Then coming back up, my right foot will be on the platform, on the carriage. My left toes are going onto the bar. And then I'm going to kick out and in. Squeeze the glute, release. Hold those abs in and up. I'm so strong through this leg that I technically don't even need to hang on. I'm barely putting weight in my hands. My back muscles are holding me up. My leg muscles are holding me up. My abs are holding me up. One more time. And in. Good. Rest your ankle or foot on top of your bar and come to an upright position. Make sure you have a good platform of this right foot on the mat, hands in prayer position in front of you. And pick up your knee and set it down. This quad is going to work hard. Raise up and down. And 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more time. And down. Good. And then we're going to come off and readjust the box because it slid around a little bit. I'm actually going to scoot it backwards to the far edge of the carriage. And I'm going to choose to be on one blue spring and have a seat on the box in the center of it, facing the long edge of the mat. And we're going to go into the sword with this right arm. Since this is my good arm, I should be able to do this. And extend and bend. Inhale, exhale. 3, 4, 5. One more time. And return. Now we'll see how the left arm does with punching. Again, I'm trying to strengthen this arm, but it does not go up well. So don't do as I'm doing. If your arm is capable of going all the way up, do it, because that is what the exercise is. I just am not able to right now. But I will be as I keep working on it. It'll get better. I had a frozen shoulder on the other side at one point a couple years ago, and it took 2 years, but it's finally better. Last one. And release. We're going to do serape. So I'm interlacing my fingers, arms are reaching out. I'm again moving from the belly button as I twist to the right and back. This would also be a good time to put that ball that we were using earlier in between your knees. It helps you to determine if you're shifting in your pelvis at all, because you'd see your knees kind of going back and forth. So that's always a good prop to use. Last one. And release. Now we're going to place the right foot or ankle. I think I'll do my ankle in this long strap. Sit tall. Hands can be on the box or holding the handles on the sides, and press away. So my foot that's on the carriage, I have to hold my toes up so that I don't drag my toes along the frame, because then I wouldn't be able to move my machine. And shoulders are down and back, abs drawn in. Let's do a couple more. I haven't counted this whole class, so hopefully it's all pretty even on both sides. I kind of go by whatever feels right for the most part. And release. Now you're going to slip your left foot in the shorter loop if you have a double loop, and the right foot comes out. You might have to scoot to the right to give yourself a little bit more range of motion. My right foot is on the carriage, slightly turned out. My toes are held up, heel is digging down, and I exhale, pull. You need to make sure that you keep your knee locked straight so that you don't torque your knee on this one. I'm going to do 2 more. My inner thighs really need the work. And last one. And release. Good. So we're going to take the strap off and hang it up, and then slide this box towards the camera. So it's on my carriage, it's just closer to the frame on this side. Now I suspect the sword is going to be very challenging for my left arm, so I may need to help myself with my right hand on the rope. We'll see how that goes. So open the arm, yep, up. Now I could go to a yellow spring, but for sake of not having to change the spring back and forth, I'm just going to use my right hand to help and pull when I need it. One more. And release. Right hand goes in the strap, comes up by your shoulder or your ear, and we glide up and down. 2, 3. Look at that, I'm counting. 4, 5. We're going to do one more, and then we'll do serape twist. Good. So you're going to interlace the fingers, move from the right to the left, from your navel or from your core. So my arms and head just go along for the ride. My hands stay in line with my breastbone for the most part. I feel as though I'm wrapping my left oblique around to the back of me when I twist to the left. One more time. And back. Now we're going to take the strap onto the left ankle, or you could put it across the arch of your foot. And then straighten that leg out and sit tall. Hold on to the sides of the box. Make sure your right heel is digging into the mat, but not your toes on the frame, so that you can move your carriage. You could also hang this leg, the right leg, down if you prefer. We're going to do 4 and 3. Knee straight. 2. Moving from the outer hip. And 1. And then you're going to slip your right foot in the shorter loop if you have a double loop, and maybe move to the left a little bit. And dig your left heel into the mat, into the carriage, and pull. Make sure your foot is not touching the frame so that you don't impede your movement. Abs drawn in, you're sitting tall. I even like to look up a little bit towards where the wall meets the ceiling, because that seems to help me prevent my head from cocking forward. 5 more. And last one. And release. Good. So we're going to hang up the strap, and then we're going to turn the box to short box position, but I want you to have room for your knee in between your shoulder pads and your box. So I'm going to sit back to you to start with, and I'm going to be on one red spring. I think I'll finish up facing you, but also I want to get this left arm that's going to be on the foot bar over with. So I come onto my machine. Left leg can either hang over the edge of the box, or my preference is to have my leg on a turnout on top of the box. My right knee is down in between the box and the shoulder pads, and just move your box accordingly. And my foot hangs off. Some people don't like that because the foot can drag on the frame. So you can always scoot forward and tuck your toes under. I think I'll do that today. Left hand reaches for this bar, right arm out to the side, and we push away and side bend. Now, I don't go very far, as you can tell. I will on the other side, but I'm still getting a great stretch through the right side of my waist. And then lift up. And actually, I think I'm going to raise the bar up to a high bar position, especially for this arm. I think the other side, I could do it no problem. But with this arm, I'll have better range. So, leg down. The left leg is on top of the box, turned out, and hand reaches. Oh yeah, that feels better already. Shoulders away from the ears. And I'm going to tuck my toes under. So I push and bend, drop this shoulder down as best you can, down and back, and then lift up. And reach. And lift. 2 more times. Last one. Up, and then we're going to twist towards the foot bar, and you're going to bend down and lift up into a swan position, taking your abs with you. Go as low as you can hang through your arms, and then lift up in this twisted position, getting a nice stretch on the spine and all the muscles of the waist. One more time. And lift. And then we're going to just twist to the right. Grab whatever you can hold on to. I'm going to grab the box and rotate to the back. Look as far back as you can, because where your eyes go, your body will follow. And breathe deeply. And release. And then we're going to flip over to this other side. So right knee is on top for me. You could also hang it over if that's more comfortable for your hips. And then left foot is either hanging off the back of the machine or toes tucked under, like I did on the other side. Right hand on the bar, left hand out. Left arm is going to reach overhead when you bend. Mine doesn't go far, but it needs the practice, so I'm going to reach it as far as I can. And breathe deep into this left lung, and then come up. Maybe not. Maybe I'm not going to reach it. Just keep it down. I think it's had enough for right now. But I really want to get the bend in the spine because it feels so good on the side of my waist. And up. Let's do a few more. Reach. Drop the bottom or the right shoulder down away from your ear. And lift. One more time. And up. And now you're going to twist and reach for the bar. You might have to shift your hips a little bit too. And both hands are reaching. Abs drawn in, shoulders away from the ear. Ears push away. And lift up. Whenever you have a joint that's not working well, for whatever reason, due to an injury or some pain for some reason, it's really important, even if you can't move that joint, to move everything else. Did a little extra on that side because I felt like I needed it. And then we're going to twist to the other side. So if you've watched my other videos, you know I've talked about how we are kind of neurologically wound and of course neurologically connected. And so when my left shoulder is really bothering me, today is not a bad day actually, it just doesn't have a lot of range of motion, then I'll work on my right hip. And neurologically, doing motion, movement, strength with my right hip actually helps my left shoulder without me having even to move or strengthen my left shoulder. So the body's amazing. So we're going to come all the way off and we're going to do a hip stretch. So let's remove the box for this one. And I'm going to lower the foot bar. And I'm also going to go to no springs. So I love doing this stretch. So pull the carriage away, stand inside the well, and then place your right shin against the mat, on top of the mat, and then lunge down and open up the front of the right hip. Shoulders down and back, abs drawn in. And just breathe and sink into it. If this is too low, you could also hold on to your foot bar, but this is what feels good to me. And bring it in, and we are going to finish on the other side. You could also put a pad under your knee if you need that. I like to lift the sternum, open up the heart, squeeze the shoulder blades together, maybe squeeze my glute just a little bit on this left side, and breathe. And we're going to carefully step off. And we did it. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.